This is so wild. Like, I had no idea that any of this was like
Lynn,
looped into it.
You are remarkable.
Yeah.
Okay? You are remarkable.
Truly,
okay?
truly.
What someone could look at as the girl at Claire's, okay? You are absolutely, and I don't say this hyperbolically, in certain people's lives, changing their life, giving them a voice, making them feel seen and heard, probably or oftentimes for the first time in a long time. Oh my God. Hi, friends. This is Wildly Unprepared, the show where I get to talk to the most incredible people I've never met and know absolutely nothing about. Like, literally nothing. It's all a complete mystery to me. I'm your unprepared host and new best friend, Tyler Mount. Each episode, myself and my other best friend, Ashley.
Hi, girls.
Producer to the stars, aka me, gossip and kiki about life and talk to some of the most interesting people on the planet. I hope you're prepared because I'm certainly not. Okay, you sit here. Oh my God. Hey, girls. That's it. I get nothing from you, Ashley.
I was just admiring your Met hat. I've never seen one before.
Thank you. Now, listen.
Hey. What? Listen what?
I mean, it's really cute. One second. You have to look at my fit today because I feel so cute, Ash. Okay.
Are there Met pants?
No, there are no Met pants because they don't sell them. Because if they did, I would buy them. Okay, look.
I'm aware. Okay, let me see. These are the joggers.
No.
Cute. Oh, your
like,
camo pants. Yeah. It's all coming into frame now. It's very cute. Where are you going in that outfit?
Today's Saturday, which is the scheme. The scheme's afoot, Ashley.
What the hell is the scheme?
Oh, come on. You know the scheme.
I don't know the scheme.
Well, I'll tell you the scheme. So ever since I said that I was leaving New York, I was like, I have to make something out of each weekend. So every single Wednesday, Kate, our producer, and your friend, you know her, and Mariah are also our other friend.
Our friend,
on
yes.
Wednesdays, we literally say, let's scheme. And then we come up with a plan to do something on Saturday. And
okay,
so guess what? Today's the scheme. We're meeting at Industry Kitchen. Do you remember ye old Industry Kitchen?
Of course. VIP MS, please.
LOL. Yes. VIP MS is a restaurant lingo for very important person must satisfy.
Yeah. It was my favorite thing about going there.
Oh my God, it's so great. But okay, so during COVID, I lived downtown in Financial District, like, I'm not kidding, like a block away, and everything was shut down. We were obviously in lockdown for like 49 years. I felt like, who was locked up for a long time? I don't know. It wasn't like Moses or Jesus locked up. It doesn't matter. The point is, I felt like I was locked up. And then they started letting us go to restaurants that were outside. Actually,
Sorry, I'm just thinking about
Moses being locked up.
I'm just still there, but yes.
They would allow you to start going to eat outside, an Industry Kitchen, very cute, waterfront, and all outside. So then I was a hankering, right? I had not had physical touch for a long time. So I got on Tinder, and when I tell you, I went on 3-4 dates at Industry Kitchen every single week, and eventually got to the point where I was like, I'm going to be besties with this host, because guess what? It was one of the few places you could go out to eat because it had all outdoor seating. So it was always crowded. And I would just text her and I'd be like, I'm on my way. And she would know the game. She would know the foot. Anyway, that is how we're starting Scheme Saturday today. We're starting at Industry Kitchen. We're then going to a no frills, like a Chinese sauna spa. So we can do sauna, steam room, cold plunge, repeat over and over and over and over until we can't do it anymore. Then Kate has a wedding shower. She sounds like you now.
But it's a wedding shower.
Is that I don't engagement party? I don't fucking know. It's the same thing. A wedding shower, engagement party.
Well, I was just like, what's a wedding shower?
It's like you're birthing your wedding.
You're birthing the concept.
And then Mariah and I are going to bar hop like at Stone Street and wait for her to get out. And then we're going to meet and go back to Brooklyn. And we're going to go to like the Exley or Animal and have a feral time. The end. Clap.
Love.
Clap. Clap, Ashley.
I don't know how. My mom never taught me.
Your mom never taught you, you a
My
baby.
mom
Anyway,
never
that's
taught
me. What
me.
about you, Ashley? What wedding have you been to this week?
Not this week, but last weekend I had Livy's wedding, which you knew.
Oh my god, but tell me all about Livy's wedding. You obviously you told me some of it, but I'm kind of living vicariously through you because it sounded, as we say in the industry, expensive. Do you do you do you have any
I mean,
details
I
there?
did turn around and like crash into a raw bar, which was the best day of my entire life. There were some steel drummers I vibed with. We got their card. There was like a man just sitting there making pasta that I will say is better than Carbone's because I've had it and Carbone was trash in comparison.
Mm.
And those were just the apps. Past hors d'oeuvres, charcuterie, and then don't worry, my salad comes out with a big old hunking crab cake on it. And we said, no expenses were spared here. The main surf and turf. I was like, this is the best day of my whole life. And
I
yeah,
love this. I mean, like, knowing you very, very well, I don't think there could be anything better.
no,
We did
literally
that
the way
really
I
Go ahead.
shoved people out of the way for the raw bar. And then I ran, all my friends are standing around. And I'm like, guys, there's literally a raw bar over there. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing talking?
Yeah,
You know,
what are
you
you
and
doing?
me and some shrimp cocktail?
Oh
Girl.
my God, it was so good. It was so
Oh
good.
my god.
And they
I
had
was
like
gonna
the
say
perfect
nothing's
cocktail
better.
sauce. What?
Oh no, I was just gonna say nothing's better except for maybe that one brunch we did do downtown.
Oh, I loved that
Oh,
brunch. And there was
what was that
jazz
for? We were
music.
celebrating
That was
something.
my
Me, you.
birthday.
Loved
That
it.
was
We were
my
celebrating us.
that was my last year birthday. The big three
That's
one.
that's how we call it. That was my last year birthday.
Well, I was
Wait, you
about to
have
say
to
that
tell
was my
everyone about this
30th, but that
brunch
wasn't.
because,
Do
like,
you want to tell everyone about the brunch?
I mean, I can, but you're gonna have to interject a little bit
I
because I don't
love when I
remember
interject.
too many things. But
Yeah, you take it from
we
the
had been
top.
waiting to go to this place for a while now. We're like elitist, pretentious brunchers in New York City, I suppose. And we only want the best for a birthday, okay? And so Ashley sent this to me, or I sent this to her on Instagram. I would assume she sent it to me.
I
And
did.
it was all obviously, I don't want to say obviously, it was all you can eat, okay? But you walk in, what hotel was it in?
That's what I've been trying to remember this whole time. I
Uh,
know exactly where it was.
it's like north
It was right next to
of
Saucony's or
Union Square.
whatever.
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Right
this is
on
a
the Broadway diagonal. Like I could picture it. I just don't
Yeah, I could
remember what it
walk you
was
there
in.
right now. It doesn't matter. No one is actually taking our
The
driving
Ned. It
directions
was
right
in
now.
the Ned Hotel. It was in the Ned
NED,
Hotel.
Ned, the Ned Hotel. Yes, thank you. You walk in and we are transported, honey. We are transported to what feels like 1960s New Orleans. And they had a live jazz band, but they were playing like covers of like Beyonce. Like
Yeah,
so good.
so good.
Waiters, waitresses in tuxes. They come by and they're like, welcome. Please help yourself. And then you go and you help yourself. Okay. We
To
have
what? To what? Let
prosciutto.
them know.
We have prosciutto. We have so many cured meats. We have all you can eat shrimp, crab legs,
Lobster.
oysters,
Lobster.
prime rib. Yeah, all you can eat
Lobster.
lobster. There were pasta. There was lobster.
Oh
There
my
was
God, it was
shrimp. There
so
was
good. There
lobster.
was an omelet bar
Oh, there
next
was
to
an
the
omelet bar.
lobster.
That was good.
Oh my
And
God,
they
there was
had
a
all of
dessert
these dips.
room.
Oh, there was a dessert room.
There was
Room,
also like a
donuts,
bread room.
pastry, a bread room. Yes. Oh, and they had that little cart where they would do the most decadent, over the top
Yep, Bloody Marys.
Bloody Marys. But guess what?
We
I
got
hate Bloody
bamboozled
Marys,
by
but
that too.
we did. We thought that was included, but when we
It's
got a bill
not.
for two $38 Bloody Marys, one of which I refused to drink because I hate a Bloody Mary, but I was like, when in Rome, it's free.
Gobbled mine down.
Hate it. Yeah, you love a Bloody Mary.
I just like to start a brunch. Come on. Sometimes it
No,
like cures me.
no.
Mm,
I don't want to be like too graphic, but like,
don't.
okay, then I won't.
No,
But I'm
don't,
like,
don't. What?
okay, I'm just saying, like, I cannot think that a Bloody Mary probably has the consistency of nothing other else than women's menstrual blood. Like, I can't get it out of my mouth. It is
You are
absolutely I'm not
disgusting.
arguing.
I
I
said
have
don't for a reason. I knew I didn't want to know. I knew.
I'm just saying I said what I said. Anyway, I'm like disgusting.
It's
And
like a
this is why I'm gay.
gazpacho and a drink.
No,
You
no,
don't like
gazpacho is
gazpacho?
smoother.
It's so good.
I love
Are you having
gazpacho.
chunky? Bloody Mary? Also, do you think period blood is chunky?
I've never had a period. I don't know. And
I mean, I guess it could be.
ooh, you
We don't
probably
have
need
to
to
get
go to the
into it.
doctor.
Yeah.
Is your
I
period blood chunky?
Mine isn't, but
Okay.
Kate's nodding her head like hers just was.
Our producer Kate is like over here with a big sign that says my period blood is chunky. And I'm like, where the fuck
Wait,
did you
we
get that?
gotta make her that t-shirt.
We've got to. We've got to. Maybe it's a
Says
new
my
Abercrombie
period
haul.
blood is
Oh, wow.
chunky.
We have derailed, Ashley.
We
But
went from
that's a
brunch to that.
yeah, but
Thank
anyway,
God.
so even last night, I had one of those New York nights. I had a New York night, Ashley. A New York night, honey. Okay. I got up at 3 in the morning because I was in Dallas. I spoke yesterday at a convention. Round of applause. Round of applause. Tons of love for Tyler. Oh, thank you. And I got up at 3 to be on the plane at 6 to take calls yesterday afternoon. I was like beat, as you can imagine. I finish everything. I walk Henry. I get into bed. Okay. It's like 5:30.
Did you give
I'm in my
Henry's
jammies.
medicine?
Yes.
Thank
Cuddles.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And then I get into bed and it is 5:30, 5:45. And I get a text from our friend Mariah. And she goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I just got in bed and I'm exhausted." And I said, "What are
What are
you
you
doing?"
doing?
And she goes, "I'm making soup and staying in tonight." And then I wrote, "Should we?" Question mark. And she wrote, "Fuck it." And then an hour later, we were at the Spaniard ripping
Love.
shots with a group of really fun girly pops. We then went to
Like random
uh,
girly pops or girly pops from
random
you?
girly
Okay.
pops. I was giving them, of all people, I was giving them advice on pickup lines to pick up men, and I was pretty good. Do you want to hear
I
one?
love that. Yeah, hit me.
Okay,
Lay it on me.
she kept being like, "Oh my god, that guy's smile is so fucking hot." And I said, "Literally, go up right next to him at the bar. Do not pay attention to him at all. Get there, wait until he looks at you, and look at him and be like." I'm gonna have to ask you to stop smiling. It's really distracting. And then immediately turn away from him. Do not give him any more attention, and that will drive him wild. I don't know if it worked. She probably got
Oh, I was
punched in the
gonna say,
face.
did it work?
I don't know. We left. But anyway, then we went to Marie's Crisis, which is, if you don't know, the very popular um like dive bar where
Theater
people gather
bar.
around a piano and we all sing musical theater show tunes. Like there is nothing gayer. And every straight person I know's biggest nightmare. But Ashley, half the people there were straight. Like I am talking about hot straight men. Didn't know any of the words. They were there with like their girlfriends
They're just
or
hanging.
some people were there from Portugal and one girl wanted to come. Mariah
Mm.
and I were having a good time at this point, and we just kept being like, "Are y'all straight? Like, what is happening here?" And they would all say yes. And then we went to 3 more bars after that. We found we just have one little cocktail at each. Okay. Then we went to Duplex, and I saw
A classic.
I know the old Mater D from 54 Below. Oh, hello, love that.
Wow.
We got a little drinky. That was good. Then we went
Love
to
that.
Stonewall, and there were the 2 cutest, like 35-year-old badass bitches just sitting in the corner. And Mariah went potty because Mariah has the smallest bladder.
In the whole
And
world
in
of
the
anyone I've
whole
ever
world,
met.
truly. And I walk up to them, and I don't know why, but everything was like decorated and really, oh, it's October. I get it now. Really small bales of hay, like literally
Oh,
smaller than
wait,
a
that's
brick.
cute.
And so we were just standing next to each other and I started talking to them and a drag queen came by and was like, "Do you want a Jello shot?" And I was like, "Yes, we do." And they were like, "Oh my God, yeah." And then I said, "Oh my God, I forgot to say." And I picked up the bale of hay and I said,
Glorg.
"Hey." And they loved it. They
Of course
loved
they
it.
did.
And then guess what? They said, "I thought there would be more dancing here." And I said, "You don't really go to the West Village to like dance."
No,
And Mariah's like,
unfortunately.
"We could take you though." So we got those 2 strangers. We put them in the back of an Uber. We drove them to Rise in Hell's Kitchen. And boy, did we dance. We had a
Love
great
that.
time. And then she was like, "New Yorkers are so nice." And I was like, "This is an episode of Broad City and I have to stop talking." But that was a New York evening. And I wish you were there, Ashley, but you
I
were in
wasn't
Connecticut.
invited. I wasn't
You
invited
were
again.
literally
This is getting
in
out of control.
Connecticut.
Once again, not invited. No, it's
Don't
fine.
get me
I didn't
started.
need to go. I didn't need to
Okay.
go. But anyway, let's just move right along
Okay. Tell me who we have
because
today,
I'm going to
Ashley.
start crying. Okay, you
I
have
know.
four clues today. And I
Okay,
hope
let's
I'm
go.
not giving it away because this one was a little tough for me.
I'm ready.
But First clue, today's guest helps people express who they are.
Oh, I love this. Maybe it's someone who teaches at a mime school. A mime school.
Wait, low-key, we should go to mime school. Okay.
You and I
Although
would
we'd have to be
fail.
silent. Yeah, I
Yeah,
take it
in
back
what world? Okay.
immediately. Okay. They also help people feel at home in their own skin. Are you sticking with mime?
No, I'm not. They are stuck in that glass box. I would say, like, I'm just
Mimes
going
are
back
only
to
in the glass box.
if they let themselves out. We can't get derailed.
Okay, go, go, go.
I'm just like going back now to like intimacy coordinator, which I know is not the case because we just had an intimacy coordinator. Number
Doesn't mean
3.
we can't have another. Come on.
What if we only had an intimacy
Yeah,
coordinator
this is now
podcast?
an intimacy coordinator only. Okay. They might make you flinch, but you'll thank them later.
Oh, oh, oh. They might make you flinch. Oh, is it like a world-renowned tattoo artist?
Nobody knows. I mean, I know,
Okay.
but but no,
I was
that's
like,
wrong.
except you and everyone else on the call. Okay. Number
Yeah.
4,
4 and final. In terms of their work, I have 11 and you have none.
vaginas.
11, you
I
have
don't
4.
Okay. This must be it. But I
Hit me with
think
that.
we are talking I I'm I'm confused. Okay. We're obviously talking to like a piercer.
Yeah,
We're
a
talking to
body
a
piercer.
professional body piercer.
Yeah,
Okay. Does this person have body piercings? I don't know. Tell us
I
who we're
would
meeting today.
assume. Okay, today we're meeting a professional body piercer, Lynn Loheide.
Okay. Bring Lynn in.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my God. Hi, Lynn. Welcome to Wildly Unprepared. I am truly wildly unprepared. I heard that the one, the only Lynn was joining us 30 seconds ago, and I'm so glad it's you. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Wonderful to be here.
Okay. We're gonna do this like we typically do on the fly because I'm clearly not prepared. All I know is that you're a professional piercist, piercer, piercifier,
Yes.
right? Okay, love. And it's clear that you have some piercings. I love. Let's start at the beginning. Lynn, what was your first piercing and what transpired to make you want to do this professionally?
Oh my gosh. So the one that counts for me was my first nostril piercing. And it took me ages to convince my parents to let me get it done, like 2 full years of like begging and pleading. I got it done when I was 14. 14, not a kind time for anyone, but especially not like a young girl in high school, super insecure, like not having a good time. That I was really nerdy. I was really unpopular. And I vividly remember that moment of getting up off the table and looking in the mirror and not seeing my glasses and not seeing my hair that never did what I wanted it to do and not seeing my acne and not seeing my clothes that were never like the really cool clothes that I wanted and just seeing that little piece of metal in my nose and thinking like, I look so beautiful. I look so cool. I'm so strong because I was terrified getting my first piercing. Like I was sitting there in the chair like
Uh-huh.
freaking out. I felt so brave and so tough and so capable. And I was completely hooked from that moment on. And I was like, if I can make one other person feel as good in their skin as I do right now, like that would be incredible. And I fell in love with the history of piercing and the tradition of it and the roots of it. And then the second I turned 18 and I could start working in the industry, I did.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
that.
I'm not trying to make this more poignant than it really needs to be or should be, but that is, sorry, Lynn, low key like beautiful because I come from really conservative small town Texas, okay? And piercings, tattoos are an absolute no-no, okay? Not
Mhm.
only because I would oftentimes maybe think of a religious connotation. I don't know, which is insane in the first place. We don't need to go in there. But the point of the matter is, what is wild to me is that a lot of people who don't have piercings or maybe even frown upon getting piercings look at it as something that is degrading, right? Degrading the body. And the way you explained it, I'm like, that is beautiful, right? It's like, do what you want with your body to make yourself feel as fantastic as possible, right?
Yeah. I always find the religious angle so interesting, like not to make it religious, but our oldest documented written record about body piercing is actually the Bible.
Hmm. Right.
Hmm.
I was going to say, again, I'm not a theologian. Is that even what we call ourselves? Are ourselves themselves?
Theologist.
A theologist. Thank you, Ashley. No one here is for biblical accuracy. Let's hope not. They're in the wrong podcast. But like, isn't it like in Leviticus you shouldn't get a tattoo, or I don't know. Doesn't
No, it
tell
actually
us?
in Genesis, when I believe Abraham is looking for a bride for Isaac, he finds Rebecca and sees her at a well, and it says that he pierces her nose with a ring and adorns her with bangles because she is to be the wife of his brother, because nostril piercings were a signifier of marriage in that region
Whoa.
in that time. So he sees her at the well, and God speaks to him and says, "This is your brother's wife." And so he says, "Well, I must pierce her nose, as is the custom of the time, to denote her as my brother's wife." Nostril
Wow.
piercings have been used as a signifier of marriage in the Middle East and in
Yeah,
Asia, and kind of like, honestly, really globally, like many cultures use it for thousands and thousands of years.
Wait, I had no
I love
idea.
this.
Mhm.
I had no idea.
I literally am like, okay, we have a body artist and a historian. You didn't tell me that, Ashley. Okay. Tell me a little bit like, okay, where do you live now, generally? I don't need your like home address unless you want to give that out to everyone.
I am based in Seattle, but I do travel and pierce internationally. But my studio is located in Seattle, Washington.
How many piercings do you think you're doing a year, if you had to guess?
Oh gosh, I don't know that I could even quantify a number to it. I'll have that data soon. I've slowed down in recent years. I do probably like 15 to 30 a day is my like comfortable
God.
number. I've worked in studios where I've done like 80 a day. So like
Th- th-
15
thousands,
feels
thousands, and
feels
thousands.
comfy, but yes, thousands easily.
What
And
is the most you've given a single person in like one sitting?
If we're talking about like piercings that are intended to be like kept and healed, 5, and even that's like kind of pushing it for a lot of people depending on what we're doing. If we're talking about like play piercings and things that are not intended to be kept and healed and things that are temporary,
What is that?
hundreds.
Oh my God, wait, what is that?
like,
They have
like
temporary
sexual
piercings?
in nature.
It can be, but not always.
Okay,
Play
let's hear.
piercings,
Let's
if
hear.
you've seen people with like little hypodermic needles in designs, or if you've seen people do like corset
Mm,
piercings on their
yes.
back, things like
Those
that.
are
Those are
temporary?
those are temporary. They are not designed to heal. They are not forever piercings. But they're done for a photo shoot or an event or an occasion or something, and then they're removed afterwards.
Wow.
Double the price, Lynn. You got to put them in and take them out, right, baby? Yes, yes, yes. That is good
Those
marketing.
I'm usually doing such like fun or creative or like ritualistic work for that I actually charge a lot less than
Oh,
my
I
other
love that
services.
because it's not permanent. It's more, I don't want to say religious, but it's more spiritual and routine based, is what you're
Mhm.
saying. Oh my God. I just remember, wow, I don't know how I'm going here, but I do remember um on like, like trashy reality TV that started in, let's say, 2004. Maybe it was like Fear Factor or something. It wasn't Fear Factor. They hung this guy from his back with piercings and picked him up by a helicopter and flew him
Chris
over the
Angel.
Hollywood sign.
The Chris Angel
Yes.
mind freak helicopter suspension. Yes, my friends were on the crew for that.
Yes.
Stop.
I'm like, that is some wild shit. I love this. Okay. So, like, tell us, I'm assuming you know the number off the top of your head. How many piercings do you have?
Probably like 28 or 27. It's been a long
Can
time since
you,
I counted.
oh my God. Okay. You don't have to be super accurate here, but like rattle us through right now. I see a eyebrow. What do we call this?
A bridge.
A bridge. We've got a bridge. We have a
Bridge of the
nose.
nose. 2 sets of nostrils. So
Oh,
4
wait, wait,
nostril
wait,
piercings.
wait, wait, wait. Okay. So we have the hoop under. We have 2 on
Septum,
each
high
side.
Septum.
nostrils, and regular nostrils.
Oh, I
Oh,
love. Okay, we
So
have
double sets.
what are these called? Snake
I got
bites.
my labrettes and my cheeks.
I love. And then
I
what do
got
we call
my
it under your lip?
philtrum, vertical philtrum.
Okay, love. Let's talk about your ears.
The headphones are going to be like weird about it, but my ears
Okay.
are covered.
I love
Tons
this.
of
And you
both
have like
ears.
some badass gauges that you currently have like crystals hanging from. Is that
Yeah, a
correct?
little amethyst ear weights. So just like actual chunks of amethyst.
I
Ow.
am obsessed with your energy. Okay, do we have piercings anywhere else you want to share?
Yeah. Yeah. Plenty.
Everywhere.
She's like
Do
all
you have your
over
belly
head to
button
toe.
pierced?
I don't anymore. I had to take it out for laparoscopic surgery a few years ago, and I just haven't gotten
Oh,
around to
you should
bringing
have
it
had them put it
back.
right back in when they
Yeah,
were
you're
done and
like,
you were under.
Right? If only. But it like, and I always tell clients this too, like if there is a medical need, it's not worth it to try and save the piercing over a medical need. Like
Of course
laparoscopic
not.
surgery, they have to make an incision in your belly button. You gotta let her go. Like rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Your health is more important. But I'm sure I'll bring it back one day.
what's the most painful that you've gotten for you?
Exactly what I was going to ask.
For me, my upper set of nostrils. Now, a regular nose piercing, chill, easy, fine, amazing, all day, every day, easier than going to the dentist, like easier than getting a pap. High nostril piercings. I have
Amen.
a very
Amen.
crooked nose. I broke my nose as a kid, so my sinus passageways are very tight, and it is like a slow COVID test and then a piercing.
Ooh.
And I hate having stuff up my nose like that.
Yeah, fair.
And there's not really like a kind way to be knuckle deep in someone's sinuses.
I'm
So
obsessed
not
Wait,
not my favorite experience.
wait, would that also not be your favorite piercing to give? Like, do you not also want to be knuckle deep in someone's nostrils?
High nostrils are really technically difficult to execute. So I have like my heart is pounding, my lower back is sweaty, my booty hole is tight. Every time I'm
Let's
doing a set of
go.
them, I'm
That
like,
makes
I
one
am
of us.
Thrill of the job.
stressed. No, they're very uncomfortable for the client to get done. They're very difficult to technically like do correctly, and they have a higher risk than a lot of other piercings. So I'm locked in when I'm doing them.
Do you Okay, you obviously strike me as someone who is like so open and non-judgmental, right? Like I would feel very, very safe having a vulnerable conversation with you in your shop about maybe why I'm getting a piercing or fear around piercing or what if I hate it or will you assure me everything's going to be fine? Like I feel very comfortable even having only known you for 14 minutes. The thing I do have to ask you, despite you not being judgmental, do you judge a few people based on what they get? Like, do people
Piercing
come in?
choices.
Do people come in and you're like, I would not get that?
I judge people based more off of their interactions with other people in the
Like if
studio
they're
than anything
rude.
else.
If they're
You
rude,
know, like the biggest demographic that I'm judging are boyfriends and fathers.
Mm.
ooh,
And
Not
if they are
shocked.
what they're
trying,
saying.
if they are trying to scare their child or partner more
Nope.
during the experience, I don't like you. Like if you are bringing
Fair.
me, like your 7-year-old has been asking for her ears pierced for years, and she's ready and decided she's ready, and we get in there, and obviously, like I am rolling out the red carpet for a child. I'm wearing cute like ears
Aw.
and makeup. We're doing fun science tricks, changing the colors of their jewelry in front of them and like making them laugh and making it really fun. And the kid lays down on the table and I am doing my absolute best to make this a lighthearted experience. And dad starts going, the needle's really big. It's going to hurt really bad.
Nope,
You're going to bleed.
absolutely
I'm
not.
like out of my piercing room. We're not doing this. If a boyfriend is being like, oh, it's going to hurt, you're going to do that. If the boyfriend can keep a poker face, if he's looking at my tray and he's like, out.
Literally
Out.
out.
This
You're
is.
here,
I love that.
Your only
I love
purpose is
that.
to be morally supportive. And if you are trying to make the person getting the piercing have a worse experience, I don't like it.
Absolutely not.
I
Absolutely
feel like
not.
that's probably common. Like that doesn't shock me at all that someone would be like, oh
No.
my God, it's gonna hurt. But like that's like really kind of fucked up behavior. Why would you go out of your way to make someone
Yeah.
feel
Yeah,
worse?
it's already a stressful and like vulnerable and scary experience. Like, why would we try to make it worse for someone. But as far as like what people are getting done, no, absolutely no judgment. There's like nothing that could shock or startle me anymore. And I'm super honest with clients
Challenge
about stuff.
Wait,
accepted.
So if it's
what's the
something that I
Challenge
like,
accepted.
I don't think is safe or I don't think is smart, I will look someone in the eye and be like, I wouldn't do this for you, and here's all the reasons why. I guarantee you could find someone who would and doesn't care in this city. And if that's what you want to do with your body, like, you know, informed consent. But I'm not gonna do it.
So you
what
wouldn't
is that
pierce?
piercing?
Yeah,
I'm like,
let's
is that
hear.
like their skull?
Horizontal tongue piercing. I would
Like
never do
all
a
the way
horizontal
through?
tongue
Like
piercing.
through like a
Yeah.
bar through. Oh my
Uh-huh.
God.
Or on
That
the
seems
tip.
more
gotta
like
hurt.
that feels more surgical to me than
And
a
a lot
quick
of people do
piercing.
it right on the tip of their tongue, and they're like, oh, it's not, but it ruins your teeth. It ruins your teeth and your gums. And it's so dangerous. And so many dentists have spoken out about the risk. And there's
Mhm.
been so much research. So I won't do anything that I think could cause like genuine grievous bodily harm.
That's good.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm like, you're doing this responsibly, and I love
I was
it.
about to say, you seem like a very responsible provider. So you're saying you wouldn't pierce a corset into my booty hole and stitch it shut, morally.
No.
Okay,
But I
Ashley,
will
we're
for temporary purposes, if you're like, I want a cute little course like down my butt over things, like, yeah, sure. Like if we're doing it for a photo
Okay,
shoot
that's
or
a
an event and you
compromise.
want something
Ashley,
ridiculous,
this is a
yeah.
compromise.
That's a
This is a
compromise. And we
compromise.
love that.
Um,
Wait, what is like the craziest piercing you have given then? That like you would do?
It's like I feel like people's expectations with this is always for me to be like some kind of genital piercing. But those are actually really normal and like
Yeah, I
day
feel
to
like
day
those
for
are more
me.
common. Yeah.
When I think of like recent memory, I actually just did a set of high nostrils on someone who had skin cancer and had totally grafted tissue on their nose that we had to work around. And that was like, that was so wild and interesting for me to like work around the surgically altered tissue and like the grafts and everything to be able to pull that off. That was really cool. I did a photo shoot just a couple months ago because as anyone who lives in the South with piercings has heard, you look like you fell in a tackle box. With all of that metal
Yeah.
in your face. So
Yes.
I bought a bunch of fishing lures and pierced them all over my face
I'm obsessed with
for
that.
a photo shoot and put a giant fishing hook through my cheek a la Patrick Star.
Oh my
and that was
God,
pretty
I'm
wild.
obsessed with that.
That is so cool. That is Vogue level.
Yeah, I'm like, was
I
Vogue
think
in on this?
I
Anna
think the
Wintour
shots
would
turned
be
out
shaking.
like pretty like editorial and I was super stoked about them.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, that's so fun.
As your newest friend, I just want to see them. I'm not necessarily going back, but the question I've been dying to know is like, I know you're like kind of pet peeves. I know difficult piercings now, but my question is, do you have a recollection of your worst client ever? The one that you still think about today that you're like, I would burn this house down before I worked with you again?
No. And I've had
That's
some
a
really
good answer,
awful
then.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
had
like,
some
that's
really
great.
awful client interactions. I try to remind myself that I'm seeing another human being in a really less than ideal situation. And I want to believe that if I encountered this person, not when they're scared and nervous, that I would meet a very different person. And even clients who are like hard or difficult to work with, I extra want to hold space for that. And like, I think part of doing this job and doing it well is accepting that you're meeting people in a very vulnerable place and you have to have extra grace and extra patience and extra understanding to do that ethically. And something that I wish more like doctors and dentists had.
Yeah, I feel like you're
surgeons.
taking like more care to make sure people feel comfortable than like
Doctors.
doctors. Yeah.
You
I like
are
that
remarkable.
Yeah, I'm like, this is amazing. I'm
Remarkable,
personally not
remarkable.
someone afraid of needles or anything.
Me
Like
neither.
my mom went with me to get all my piercings and I had to like calm her down. I'm like, Mom, it's really not a big deal.
Yep.
But I'm like, if I
Lynn
were
would
like,
have kicked her out. Lynn would have
Lynn
kicked her
would have been
out.
like, please stop. And as we all should have. But yeah, no, that's like so amazing. Cause I can't imagine it is so scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I'm like,
I'm
put
not
the
scared of
needle.
needles, but like I have to remember, like I remember what it was to be scared of needles. Like I was scared of needles when I was little, and like I have to remind myself that like I don't know the fears or the traumas of the
Yeah.
person in front of me. Also, like, I'm consensually doing something painful to someone, like, regardless, as even though I make it as easy as I can be, like, it is still painful and that's still scary and that's still a huge amount of trust and vulnerability. Because people aren't that good at being vulnerable either and aren't
Mm.
necessarily going to respond comfortably and easily. So, like, it's not just my job to technically do the piercing. It's also my job to, like, be patient and be understanding and, like, respect how nervousness and anxiety presents for people and not, like, judge people for that.
Yeah.
I love this. You are deeply an empath. And I don't know why I think about this a lot of the time, but I do. I think about how in life, there are many things people can do. Like, we can agree, there are many things on earth that you could do, Lynn, and be successful at. But this is like there's a Chinese term for it. I don't know what it is, but it's like the beautiful intersection between what you love to do, what you're good at doing, and your ability to make money doing it. And I'm like, this is what you were meant to do. Not that you need my affirmation here, but I'm like, I love this. I'm also our producers in my ear and reminding me, well, telling me, I should say, that you are a body modification historian. That's already apparent by
Yes.
your ability to like tell us about the biblical references. Like, I'm not too shocked by this. I don't want to say define what that is because I can speak English, like I know what that is. But what got you in to the historical nature of piercing, and how do you potentially apply that in your work today?
Yeah.
Because you can obviously understand that a lot of people think piercing is going to Claire's on your 8th
Yeah.
birthday. And this is
Yes.
so far beyond that.
I mean, I've always been super fascinated about it. So, like, I've been doing deep dive research on piercing history for a very long time. And then through like a fortunate series of meetings and events, I connected with the folks at Sacred Debris. It's actually the first body modification focused archive, started in 1992/3. And Sacred Debris focuses more on like the history of piercing as an industry, which started in 74 here in North America when we think about like American piercing history. And they focus pretty narrowly on like the like 60s, 70s through to about like early 2000s. And so I do a lot of work with them. But in my own time, I also I've communicate with a lot of different anthropologists and archaeologists and researchers looking more at like ancient piercing history, and like what I consider like traditional piercing history. And just sort of all fascinates just everything. Piercing is my special interest. Everything fascinates me. But I think it really helps me show up better for clients. I had a client come in the other day. She's Mexican American. She wanted to get her septum pierced, and we were talking about it. And sort of organically, it came up. She was like, this piercing has like heritage in my culture, and that's really why I want to get it done. And I was like, oh, amazing! Like, I don't look it, but I'm also Mexican American. I'm Mexican on my father's side, and like it does have a really beautiful history in indigenous Mexican cultures to do a septum piercing. And very, very long ago, it was a bloodletting ritual and a religious rite. And it was about communion with the gods and like celebration of culture. And there's a lot of really beautiful historic jewelry that used to be worn in the septum by those cultures and had all sorts of spiritual meanings. And she was sitting there at my piercing table and she was like, I know I've wanted it for years, but I was always like, maybe it'll be too much like in a corporate setting. Maybe it'll be too much like at my kid's school. Like, I don't want to seem unprofessional. With everything happening in the world right now, I want to walk down the street and have people know that I am Mexican and know that we are here and know that we are not going
Mm,
anywhere. And if ICE agents
mm,
see me on the street, I want
mm,
them to know that I'm here and I'm proud of who I am and I am proud of where I
mm.
come from and I'm proud of my culture and I'm proud to be Mexican. And so I am getting this piercing for all of my ancestors who didn't feel like they could because it wasn't civilized enough and it wasn't the right way to look. And I'm getting this so that other people see me on the street and know that I am representing this and I love this. And we ended up like crying and hugging afterwards, and it was
Almost
so
crying.
I know.
emotional and it was so heavy. And so like the intersection of like having that knowledge of history and that understanding and respect of what piercing is for so many different cultures and being able to show up in that way for clients, and then having the technical skill to execute the piercing in a safe and trauma informed way and create a space where this woman could reconnect with her culture in a way that felt really meaningful given what's going on right now, and literally use her body to make such a powerful statement of like, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm proud of this culture that you tried to erase. Like, piercings and tattoos used to be illegal in the USA
Mhm.
only for indigenous people. Members
What?
of our military
Are
could
you
have tattoos.
joking?
In 1938 or 1939 census, nearly 23% of military members in America had tattoos.
Mhm.
And at that same time, because of the Indian Rights Act, it was illegal in most states for Indigenous Americans to tattoo themselves or pierce themselves with their sacred markings.
That is
We
unreal.
tried when we think
Unhinged.
about why it is considered unprofessional to have piercings and tattoos and be
Yeah.
modified, it directly stems from laws trying to erase indigenous culture here in North America. It directly stems from like we want to get rid of this, and it goes even further back because there then becomes this concept of like, oh, well, white people didn't pierce and tattoo, that's why they thought it was uncivilized. Well, no, actually, that erasure happened multiple thousand years ago when the Roman Catholic Church came to Europe and made the Picts stop tattooing themselves in
Mm.
ancient Scotland and made druidic religions illegal, right? So that we've been stamping out body modification all over the world, unfortunately, for thousands of years. But it's all like all of that is interlinked. There's no sort of like you can't remove those political elements from body
Mhm.
modification because of that. But knowing that history helps me show up better for my clients and do what I can to try and undo the damage we've caused through that.
This is
The
so wild. Like,
I
I
am
had no idea that any of this was, like,
Lynn,
looped into it.
you are remarkable.
Yeah.
Okay? What you are remarkable.
Truly,
Okay?
truly.
What someone could look at as the girl at Claire's, okay? You are absolutely, and I don't say this hyperbolically, in certain people's lives, changing their life, giving them a voice, making them feel seen and heard, probably or oftentimes for the first time in a long time. Right. And you're opening my eyes to this idea that uh, obviously body modification is far greater than I want my ears pierced, right? It it has in many cases deeply significant cultural history and cultural meaning, especially in a world and a country where oftentimes it feels like you are punished for being other than, right? And your ability to recognize that and be an empath and guide people on that journey is absolutely fucking beautiful. And I want to fall through the computer and smooch you, right? I'm like, that is incredible. And then, wait, I'm sorry, I'm still not done. Then I love when someone like you is very passionate, but is also insanely knowledgeable. So anyone who would ever come to you and say, well, it's not professional, or so and so did so and so. You're like, actually, in 1938, the census. I'd be like,
No,
sir,
literally.
you stupid hoe. I'm like, I don't know if someone told you today, but you're remarkable. And let's not forget it. Lynn,
Thank you.
okay?
No, the history is fascinating, and like the more you learn and the more you read about it, the more beautiful it is. And it's like it's also not just a cultural thing. Like it can be really powerful for a variety of reasons. I think of like a client who traveled from Utah to Tennessee to get pierced by me when I worked there, because she had like left the Mormon church,
Mm,
and she drove all this way just to get her nose pierced because she was like, I wasn't allowed to do that there. I was
yep.
like married at 15, kids at
Oh
16, like
my
this was my whole life,
God.
and I've like finally left, and I want to feel like my body is mine again. And like the thing for that for her was the nose piercing because she always thought they looked beautiful and she wasn't allowed to do it. And she was like, I know it's going to be really difficult for me and I just want to find somewhere safe where someone won't judge me. I probably spent 3 hours with this client, like just
Mm,
cleaning her nose and marking, like crying and like freaking out about it back and forth, like doing this means I can't go back, like doing this means that I've
yeah.
like actually left, like this is such a big step. And we did finally do the piercing and she was like so elated. And she still sends me a card like every year.
My God.
And like around the holidays, and I sent her one and she updates me on like what's going on, and she was like, that was like I I consistently wonder in the back of my head, like, would I have gone back? And she was like, the piercing for me was like, I'm not doing that, like
It,
I'm
like,
not going back,
signified
I've
Mm,
it.
done this thing.
mm,
I have clients who get piercings to recover from like sexual violence and
yep.
trauma and feel like the body part is different now and it's not the
Mm,
same thing that that person hurt and it can be theirs again.
yep.
Um, the way that it can be like very healing and very restorative, and the way we can allow our body to be a part of the process of processing pain and trauma, I think is like incredibly beautiful.
I love
I am
also
floored. I am floored. I am floored, Lynn. I'm floored. Go ahead, Ashley.
I just love that you create this space for people that they obviously like feel comfortable to like open up and go through this journey with you and like give you a piece of like, you know, that trauma that they've held on to help you heal them through it. I just think this is like so beautiful. And like, I mean, my ears are covered in piercings, but obviously it was just for like fun. And now I'm like just looking at it in such a different way. I'm like, people really do go and like heal with tattoos and heal with piercings. And it's so beautiful to have someone like you there on the other end to like help them through it. I'm
You know
like,
what? A lot of
everyone
times
go
it
to
is
Lynn.
like it is unconscious, right? Like, did you ever just have like a really bad day or like an awful week or something? And you're like, "Oh, like I just need to go get a new piercing or tattoo."
No, that's my entire ear. Yeah, Kate,
Yeah,
our producer, that's her entire ear.
yeah. Yeah. So there's, I think, like an innate human desire when these emotions feel bigger than what our brain can contain to tap in our body. And like maybe that's going and lifting really heavy at the gym and like listening to heavy music for a few hours. Maybe that's going and getting your favorite comfort food and eating like the whole fucking thing. Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
going and getting a piercing or a tattoo. Like we yearn to process somatically. And we aren't really given a great toolkit for dealing with those emotions. When we think about, again, cultures dating back thousands of years, like piercings and tattoos are very much incorporated in grief, in mourning, in loss, in celebration, in rites of passage and coming of age. We're not like piercing is not this new trad or this new thing. It's not even we're not even doing it for different reasons. Like we're a lot of times doing it for the very same reasons we always have. We just don't have the same language or culture around it today to be able to express that.
Do you feel like piercings and tattoos are like making a comeback though, which I do love because I do feel like it's more mainstream. And listening to you talk about the history of it, I'm like, I cannot believe, of course, we tried to take this from indigenous people, you know? And it's always been in media, like we're all 90s, early 2000s kids. It's always been this big, like, act of rebellion, right? Like, oh, you don't want to hang out with the kid with the piercings or the tattoos or whatever. But I'm like, now I'm like, it's even more of an act of a rebellion in today's age, age. Like, that's, I don't know. You're blowing my mind, Lynn.
I know, Lynn, you were put on this earth to do it. Okay? You were put on
Yep.
this earth to do it.
Yep.
Lynn,
Easy.
before we go today, okay, I'm not going to have you sit here without asking my final question. Okay, anyone in the room who knows me, okay, has known I've toyed with this idea. Okay, I photoshopped photos of me with an ear piercing. I went as recently as last week with Kate to a tattoo, a piercing shop, and I was like, if they have availability, I'm just like gonna do it. Okay, my questions for you. Okay, we're gonna play shopkeeper and customer. Okay, and I'm gonna be vulnerable with you, and I'm gonna ask you your honest opinion, and you're gonna give me your honest opinion. Okay, I have wanted an ear piercing very recently. Okay, it's not something I've been dying for my entire life. I'm gonna say 6 months, 12 months, but I feel really good about it. Okay, it's like super now. This is how I'm describing it as my experience. Okay, it's like super hip, trendy, hot, masculine, gay in New York City now, okay, which I love, okay? Now, a few concerns, okay? Not the needle. I'm concerned that I will get it and vulnerably, I am going back to childhood trauma, okay? Childhood trauma, even surrounding piercing. I think that I will get it and I will immediately be like, I look too gay. And that is deeply traumatic and
Mhm.
deeply rooted in things far beyond even this conversation. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's how I feel. I want it, but I'm terrified of doing it and being like, ooh, I look gay. Even though, who am I fooling? I'm probably
Yeah.
gay,
We're all
right?
shocked. We're all
So, my
shocked.
question for you is, should I get it? I'm going to even model my ears for you. Do I get like a stud? Do I get like a little baby hoop? Which ear? Because aren't there implications of like homosexuality versus heterosexuality? That's the rumor on the street in my head, at least. And worst case scenario, if I get it and I hate it I can take it out and it will close right up. Right?
Yep.
Tell me. Look at these
Okay.
earlobes while you tell me.
Check out his lobes first. Is that the gay ear or the heterosexual ear?
Okay.
Okay,
I'm ready.
so first of all, when we talk about like gay ear versus straight ear, this comes from like the 60s and 70s when it was a very dangerous time to be out, and you wanted ways to show people that you were queer, but that weren't going to get you beat up at the street, that were going to get you losing your job, whatever the case may be.
Mm.
Hanky code comes
Yep.
from that. Piercings, especially on the coasts, came from that as well. There's actually a New York Times article, maybe circa 73 to 83 era. I should know the year of this, and I'm not. It's in that realm. But the
Better than
article
Ashley and I.
came
You're
out
good.
saying,
Truly, truly.
left is right, right is wrong. Ear piercing for men.
Left is right, right is wrong. Because
As in
right
the right
meant
ear
gay.
was the gay ear. Now, it was different coastally and it was different in different regions. So if you have like a right ear piercing, like in the Midwest, like that can mean something different than a left ear piercing. That was a New York Times article. So that's what most people cite. But it was so if you were at a bar and you saw someone with that earring, you could be like, okay, I feel safe enough to maybe buy this man a drink because maybe he's not going to assault me if I do or take it the wrong way. And, you see a man with like a piercing and then like that handkerchief in his pocket and you're like, okay,
Now we
Got
know.
it.
now I know who
Now
I
we
can
know.
talk to, right? So it was a way to try and keep us safe, to try and communicate subtly to other people. So I think there's a beautiful history there. I think you should pick up the book Running the Gauntlet. It is the history of America's first piercing studio, and piercing only exists in America today because of gay leather folks. And leather dykes and trans
Yep.
people and queer people. So I think you should pick up that book and read it. It's written by Jim Ward, who opened Gauntlet, America's first piercing studio, a prolific gay man and considered the grandfather of modern body piercing. And I think you should read that history because I think it is reasonable for you to have that concern in the time that you grew up in. And rather than just like talking through it, I think learning the history will help you reframe that and realize how proud you should be to be gay and have piercings and how much we fought to get here and connect with that larger history of queerness and gayness and rebellion in America and have that special meaning for you. And I think you should totally get it pierced. They're going to tell you that you should probably get it pierced with a stud because it's going to be a lot easier to heal with than a hoop. And then in like 3 to 5 months, you can change it out for all of the little fun things that you want to and all the little things that you enjoy. And if you don't like it, you can just take it out and it's not the end of the world. But I think you're going to read Running the Gauntlet, and specifically you're going to read about the time period when Jim Ward moved to New York and he saw this dude Fernando in the meatpacking district, and it was the first man Jim had ever seen with a nipple ring, and he was like,
Fernando sounds hot.
Fernando is so like every big name gay man in piercing history in that era has a Fernando story. And read about what this history was and how much it meant and how special it was for people to get piercings and like what it meant to the queer community. And you're going to go from being like, I'm going to look so gay with my ear pierced to being like, I'm going to look so gay with my ear pierced.
Let's go.
Love.
Oh my God. If anyone wants to find out where to get Lynn, right? They're a busy piercer, let me tell you, okay? How do we find out more about you, Lynn? Where do we follow you on social media? And most importantly, how do I book a session with you?
I keep it super easy. I'm at Lynn Loheide on everything. TikTok, Instagram. My website is lynnloheide.com. I'm the proud founder of Nexus Body Arts here in Seattle, and you can visit nexusbodyart.com to find out. I do book out about a month and a half in advance, which I know is absurd for body piercings.
No, you're the Taylor Swift of body piercing.
High
Let's go.
demand.
I'm super grateful. I'm super appreciative, but you do want to plan about a month and a half in advance to come see me. My next international travel dates, I will be in Christchurch, New Zealand in January, piercing. So for everyone in Aotearoa who wants to come out and see me, come out and see me. And I also put out educational content about piercing history and piercing safety and things. I blog every week. I publish on YouTube every Wednesday. And I'm all over the place on Instagram and TikTok in between that.
Oh my gosh.
We love.
You are doing it. Lynn, thank you truly from the bottom of my heart and Ashley's heart. I know her heart has been moved, and that's rare.
It has.
Okay,
It
she's
really
like the
has.
fucking Grinch over there.
Literally, people have been looking for my heart for decades. But
I know. Something that feels like I told you oftentimes so overlooked or innocuous, right, has so much meaning, and you ensure that people have an incredible journey. And we need more people like you in this crazy, crazy world across all professions. So I so
Truly.
appreciate you spending your Saturday morning with us. And I cannot wait to continue to see you change lives out there, honey.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun. And any excuse to show people that, yes, piercings can be fun and cute, but they can also be so much more than that.
Success, babe. Success. I am floored, Ashley.
Same. Incredible. I did not know all the history. I'm like obsessed. I'm like, can you just tell me everything there is to know? Ever. We don't even need to speak. Just let Lynn talk.
I mean, we just need Lynn to talk. They were
Let them
so
tell us
knowledgeable,
everything. And the
kind,
way they're
ethical.
able to tell a story is like so perfect.
I mean, them
If
talking
Lynn
about the
wasn't a
Mexican-American
piercer,
piercing.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh my God.
well,
I was just gonna say, if Lynn wasn't a piercer, easy next job's therapist, perfect. Storyteller, perfect. History teacher, I would have learned
perfect.
so much more if I had Lynn in my life earlier
That's
on.
true. I would have
I
actually
might
listened
know
to them.
something. Same, fully. I might know what happened back in the day.
And I certainly don't. I don't even know what I did last night. So, like, God bless Lynn and God
God
bless the
bless.
gays. But look, we were at, I mean, full circle moment. We were at Marie's Crisis last night, right? As a reminder to anyone still magically listening to this, the gay bar in the village that just plays musical theater show tunes around a piano. And the guy at the very, very end of his set stood up and he talked about how he was 17 and lived in the village during the Stonewall riots, and people would seek shelter in Marie's Crisis to find safety. And how, you've probably heard this before, that gay men would mourn in the morning and go bury a friend, most likely because of AIDS. And then in the afternoon, they would riot. And then at night, they would dance. And this cyclical moment of mourn, fight, and riot and dance is so beautiful. And that's just
Mhm.
what I kept thinking about. Their story about their Mexican American client who got a nose ring. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, because your thought's pretty." No, she was literally reclaiming a part of who she was.
Yep.
And that is deliciously beautiful.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
Ashley, as my friend, forget podcast host, producer, cohort extraordinaire.
Mhm.
I know you'll support me no matter what I do. I know that about you. You will love me. And this isn't permanent necessarily. But do you think it would look good for a little stud? Do you think I would regret it? Do you think I am like unapologetically hip and will like it? Or is it something
Not hip.
I'm
You're like
desperately
losing
trying
me
to
as
be.
you talk.
Oh God,
I
I'm
think
so
it's gonna
scared.
be so cute and you're gonna be so obsessed with it and you won't stop looking at it.
Okay,
Like,
so
and also you've talked about this like
a long
years
time.
ago. Yes. I'm like, I'll do it for you. Parent Trap style with an apple. Bap.
Bah! Got him. Ashley, another great morning, afternoon, evening being wildly unprepared with you. I wouldn't want to do it any other way. If you liked what you listened to, and God knows you did, be sure to follow us where you get your podcasts. And you can always be following me online at Tyler G. Mount. Ash, thanks for being with me today. I can't wait for you to tune in next time. I hope you're prepared because I'm certainly not. Love you most.
Love you.
Love you most.
Love you mostest.
Love you most.
Love you most. Love you most. I love you the most. I love you 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 the most.
Wildly Unprepared is hosted by me, Tyler Mount, and Ashley Andrabag, executive produced by Kate McGarrigle in collaboration with Henry Street Creative. Please be sure to give us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform and tell your friends that you just found their newest obsession. We love you so much, and we couldn't do this show without you. Okay, I'm nervous and I don't know how to finish this, so you should just shut this off now. Is anyone still with me? Just my mom? Okay, bye, Yvonne.